Hi, Patti.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. I'm going to take a quick look around. What a nice studio you have. All sorts of equipment. And what Patti's going to show us today is how she makes her dichroic glass galaxy pendants. And here's a few examples. And Patti, where are we going to start?
Okay, we can start right here at the torch. Okay. The first thing that you do is, of course, you get the flame going. This is called lampworking. This is the oxygen. And my tanks are right here, oxygen and propane. So I'm using a combination of the two. And I want to get the flame so it's nice and hot.
How long have you been working with glass?
With glass, over 10 years.
Okay.
With jewelry, over 20 years.
Oh.
So I just fell in love with glass about 10 years ago, and I started taking some lessons, and it's just passionate about it now. Okay, what I'm going to do is this is a piece of dichroic glass. This is called a punty, and basically what it is a handle. It's a glass handle. So I'm going to attach the dichroic piece to the rod. Okay, the minute you take it off the flame, it cools. Then what you have to do, because dichro is so fragile, you have to coat it in what we call painting it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the dichro so it doesn't burn. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start painting it. I'm covering it to protect it.
Okay, and what exactly is dichroic glass?
Dichroic glass is made out of fiber optics. And it changes colors depending on the way the light hits it. And it's, like I say, it's real hard to work with, so a lot of people don't use it because it burns, and it got to work with it quite quickly, and it's expensive. So, okay, now that I have the dichro piece coated so that it won't burn. I don't know if the camera can catch that purple in there. It's kind of iridescent. Anyway, then I put another punty on, which again is called a punty, but it's really just a handle. And I'm going to attach it to the other side of the piece. So, okay, now I'm ready to do the inside. And the flame, as I put the flame on here, it's going to turn. I'm going to turn it slowly, and the flame will help me soften the glass, because what I want to do is I want to break up the glass inside so it looks like a galaxy. There we go. It's starting to look like a spiral now. Get that as square as possible. So when you feel you're ready with the center, then what you do is you take off one side. So I'm going to burn off one handle. So I'm going to take it off on this side. Yeah, so let me get this little thing off here. Okay, so now we've got the beginnings of the inside of the pendant. So that's going to be the center of my pendant. Okay.
Very nice.
Right now I'm making the dome that you see when you look at the pendant. You'll see a round dome on the top, which gives it that 3D look. Actually, that's what gives it the 3D look. Okay, so it's starting to get like a ball, And I'm going to do now is I'm going to put that right there. Did you see how I did that, Gail?
Mm-hmm.
I made the dome. So I got to burn that off. Okay.
And you just do that by placing it properly over the flame. So you're burning the part off that you want off and not the part you just stuck on.
Right,
Okay.
right.
All right.
See, I pulled it and then it had that little squeezy part there. Okay, now that looks like a ice cream cone right now. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and get it nice and hot again. And okay, let's see. And then I'm going to put it in a marble mold.
Okay.
Right like that.
So you've got dichroic glass inside, and then the dome is made of clear glass. I see.
Yeah. See how that dome? See that dome there?
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
It's turning out pretty good so far.
Very good.
They're
all different, are they?
They don't all turn out. I'll show you. Now that I've got the dome, you can see the dome is on there. Now I've got to flatten the back side. So I'm going to put a punty on the dome. So constantly what you're doing is you're moving these punties back and forth so that you can manipulate the piece. Okay, now I've got a color. I've got a transparent kind of an aquamarine color that I'm going to put on here. And again, I'm going to paint. Got to watch the flame. You want to keep it on the back side of the glass. You see how the glass is flowing, Gail?
Mm-hmm.
I'm making a border here. Okay, I just keep going around. I'm still trying to work this so that I get enough glass on the back here to cover it completely. Okay, I'm going to fire cut that. Okay, but that's the joy of doing this. I mean, it feels like a challenge to me all the time. And then also you just don't know what it's going to look like. Once it comes out of the kiln, it could look totally different than you expected it to look. So
so how long after it's done you put it in the kiln? How long is it in the kiln for?
Well, what's going to happen is I'll put this in the kiln, and it's at an annealing temperature right now. I did that ahead of time. So it will stay there for an hour at that temperature. And then it will start to come down from 1050 down to 0 in about 14 hours. Very, very gradually.
Okay.
Now I've cut a little piece of glass, and I'm going to make. What I'm doing is I'm bending this loop. Voila! Now let me get this off of here, and then we're done. We'll get it in the kiln, and I think this is going to be nice. This one's looking pretty good. Okay, what I'm doing here, Gail, is I'm pressing that handle down so that it's pretty flat.
Must be fun to see your galaxy pendants on people that have purchased them.
I love it. I love watching people wear my jewelry. It's a real joy for me. Now if I look at that, see there's some purple in there? Okay, now it's ready to go into the kiln, and I'm going to put this here, and I'm going to put it in here.
Ooh, that's toasty.
Up. Turn it over.
Okay.